All right, y'all. Today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. We're going to check out its local search, its city search, and we're going to see if it's got BSS, yes or no. Now we're here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our graph here, our FSIC graph in white down below. Highest intent peeps on the left. These people searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city today, right now. We talk about how to get these people to come to us in our videos here about BSS. These people discover us, come to us, buy from us. These are highest converting, closest to the money. We got to dominate these people. Then way over on the right, lowest intent peeps. We talked about interfacing with these peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And talk about BLCS over there. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots, that's a fast death. That means we're on page 2 or deeper. And we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So yeah, they're page 1 and done searches, never even hit page 2. That's no bueno. Also 1 slot on page 1, Google, that's not good either because there's 10 organic slots. It means there's probably gonna be 9 other boudoir photographers each with 1 slot. So guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We ain't standing out. We're not dominating. And as a result, what's approximately 80% of boudoir buyers gonna do? They're gonna click down everyone on page 1 and page 1 only, because remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So everyone down page 1, open everyone up, do a contact form for everyone, get a price quote, negotiate, bring down the margins, get more for less, blah, blah, blah. Waste time, and 9 out of 10 of those contact forms ain't even going to buy from us. So, only probably 10% will buy. So, like both these situations, 0-1 slots, page 1 Google, our business is either dying fast or dying slow, but in both cases, it's dying. And 0-1 slots, page 1 Google is not normal. It's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a small number of page 1 links on Google. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most people know this. People upgrade their iPhones all the time, get new cameras all the time, and eventually more peeps are throwing up their Google My Business profiles, and they now shoot boudoir. They are now throwing up their website saying they do boudoir photography. They post more often in the mom groups on Facebook saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Everyone understands it's kind of natural, it gets more and more competitive over time. Now, this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is new, but because a lot of boudoir photographers basically, kind of without thinking, kind of everyone is auto-accepted. They're like, yeah, as a boudoir photographer, my website will get, I get either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. If I get 1, cool. If I get 0, cool. And maybe I had one, page 1 on Google, but now I'm on page 2 of Google. So I'm not on page 1 anymore. And it's like, oh, well, that's simply the game. But no, that is 100% incorrect. That is the false belief of page 1 equality in action. What's actually true is Google will actually give us as many slots on page 1 of Google search as we want, or as we want to put in, as we put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new method we discovered. Finally, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, if you got 0-1 slots, page 1 Google search, you're either disappearing fast or disappearing slow. Both cases were disappearing, and this is kind of like a red flag, a warning light, canary in the coal mine. Or basically, if we are a disappearing boudoir photographer, that means our business is now on the path to disappearing as well. But thankfully, we now have a solution. Discover that BSS, boudoir search sameness, is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And it works exactly as the word said, as the title says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there. And that's kind of like snowing, raining at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America, the east side, the back side there. So when that happens, well, it's mostly going to be snow. That snow melts year round. That water flows into small streams and eventually small rivers. And that all flows into the large Amazon River. So the Amazon River is page 1 Google search. So we gotta get the snow at the top of the mountain, saturate social search, to then get stuff to flow down to the Amazon River page one Google search. And that's basically how that's how it works. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow the business to still continue to grow, even with current market saturation and growing market saturation, and give them the opportunity relatively quickly. Now, the only other solution I've seen give those same benefits are having a large, well-known brand. But dude, we ain't. Those take 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here. AI is taking people jobs. We do not have 5 to 10 years. So, building a large, well-known brand, that ain't happening anytime soon. But interestingly, with S-Cube methodology, yeah, we can get some kind of initial more market share, more page one Google slots, also stuff like kick our competitors off. But by my estimates, it actually enables the building of a large, well-known brand in the area, in the local area, city, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods, simply because we're being seen across so many more surfaces with a higher volume of time, So it's kind of just natural to build a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster. And all right, here's an example of what S-Cube methodology could enable for a boudoir photography business. So we are going to Fairbanks, Alaska, and there are 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. And we got, we literally, everyone's got their websites and they shoot boudoir, they're boudoir photographers. Everyone's trying to rank page one Google search. They're like, man, we ain't got, a large, well-known brand right now. The only, S-Cube methodology, literally that's the only way that we can compete. So let's say we take S-Cube methodology, we crank it up to the max, and let's say we take the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across all of social search, and let's say that flows onto Google search for this highest intent boudoir buyer keywords as well for our city, and we're taking the first 300 slots on Google. So, 10 organic slots per page on Google. So that means we'd be taking up essentially 30 pages. So basically anyone in our area searching anything related to boudoir photography, boudoir photo shoot in their city. I mean, we're basically the only ones showing up. Social search, Google search, we're basically the only ones that they're seeing. So whose business is most likely growing in this situation? Ours. Whose business most likely failing, disappearing, becoming invisible? Most likely our, the 999,909 other boudoir photographer competitors that are in Fairbanks with us. So again, this is like ultra extreme example, but this is what S-Cube methodology could enable in, kind of in the most extreme case. Now, once you're with S-Cube methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And so yeah, we're getting more slots page one on Google, like that initial benefit. And then a lot of boudoir photographers actually, their favorite's the second benefit, where every new link we get page one slot on Google, we're actually kicking our competitor off page one Google, putting them page two or deeper, and now we know they're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace, and putting their business on the path to disappearing. So we could literally, by our effort, we can control how many of our competitors actually go, kind of go on the path to disappearing, simply based on our effort. And so it's like it's a fan favorite for boudoir photographers of initial benefit that they can get with S-Cube's methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search as kind of the minimum baseline recommendation, because basically everyone else can have one slot, page one Google search. So if we got 3 slots, we're dominating them. And in the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. We got 3, so we're still dominating them. So that's where the 3 out of 10 recommendation comes from. And we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So we got our entire universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, either 0 or 1 slots page one Google search, is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality, which we'll see in the next picture. We discovered we know for a fact it's a false belief. And we achieve page one visibility. Well, we utilize S-Cube methodology to solve that. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So it's our, basically our micro universe here. Now here's some results. So this is what I want to I want to super rank for this term, BLCS Boudoir. I want to dominate takeover page one Google search. And so I went to work using SQ methodology. So let's see these results of what I got. So we got organic slot one, Instagram, me. Slot two, me. Slot three, me. Slot four, me. Slot five, me. Slot six, me. Slot seven, me. Slot eight, me. And finally, slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots page one Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page one Google search in only 10 days, purely by using SQ methodology. So if someone's searching this term, who are they clicking on? Who are they coming to? Obviously me. Now, all right, main event here. Let's see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for its its local search and its city search. Also going to see if it is hitting the recommended GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. All right, so we're going to Rancho Cordova, California. All right, so here we go. We're in Rancho Cordova, California. And let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. No, that doesn't count. All right, so we got 0 out of 10. So we got BSS for our local search, and we are not hitting the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. We're going to go to our city search now, larger city search, Sacramento, California. Let's check it out here. Let's see. All right, we got one. Boom. Nice. City's always harder than local. So, all right, we got 1 out of 10. And let's see. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 local. So we do still got BSS for that one. All right, so final result, we got so local we got 0 out of 10. So we got BSS. City we got 1 out of 10. We also have BSS, and for both, we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, you went and did the local search for yourself and the city, or local search for the highest intent buyer keywords and the city search for the highest intent buyer keywords, and you had BSS for one or both, or you did not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page one for either one or both of those searches. And you now realize page one on quality was kind of automatically accepted before, but now you realize it's a false belief. Now you realize, wow, we truly can take as many page one slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And you understand market saturation with how, basically people get new iPhones, throw up their Google My Business profile and their website saying they shoot boudoir. So get new gear, increase the number of boudoir photographers over time. It's always increasing, and you're actually thinking ahead. You're seeing AI. You accept it's okay. It's probably going to start steal more people's jobs. So what we're actually going to need to do is it's going to force a bunch of boudoir photographers to come into the marketplace that were not boudoir photographers before, but they have, everyone's got a camera on their phone. And so you want to fortify your position ahead of AI taking everyone's jobs. And I don't know, could that double the amount of boudoir photographers in the market? No idea. But you want to fortify your position before then. You kind of want to get more slots on page one before that happens to kick out current competitors, and get even more slots on page one to fortify your position against the coming influx of new boudoir photographers that will inevitably be coming into the marketplace. So more sellers for the same number of buyers as AI takes more and more people's jobs. And so you want to fortify you want to kick out the current competitors, fortify your position against future competitors. And you also want the your CNS cubed methodology is the only solution that you can see that allows you to do that as a boudoir photographer. And you actually want kind of the extra back-end benefits from this as well, which is every day we execute SQ'd methodology successfully. We're actually building these thematic keyword columns that are plugged, kind of like spokes, that are plugged into our main brand across our social channels, across the internet, our website, our brand name, our social handle name. And as we do more and more of that every day, it actually increases the probability we get recommended an AI overview, this premium spot placement up at the top above everything. And many times, it's literally recommending one studio at a time, based off of thematic keyword relevance, authority, things like that, and frequency. And also every day we execute methodology correctly. So it's building up that momentum in the background for AI overview and also standard AI search and all the different AI search platforms. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Every day we successfully execute methodology, build up those thematic keyword columns attached to our brand, kind of like spokes on a wheel. We're increasing the probability AI recommends us in search into the future. Kind of increasing that probability every single day we successfully execute. And you also see that kind of the earlier you jump on this, the more distance you put, kind of the more momentum is built, kind of more fortification, kind of fortifying the levees like New Orleans against the ocean because it's below sea level, and building momentum for back-end AI search, AI overview recommendations forever into the future. Well, for every day that S-cubed methodology is successfully executed against all current and future competitors who are not running S-cubed methodology. Because my current plan is to only run it with one boudoir photographer per city. And so if I were to work with a competitor and that happened, instead you would have to rederive and refigure out and retest S-cubed methodology to figure it out for yourself. And you would never really know if you actually derived it correctly. But even so, you'd have to then go execute it on your own, which you'd have less confidence in, because again, you would not have known if you've actually derived it correctly. And you'd have to equal our output of me working with your competitor to maintain our gap where we're already ahead. You'd have to actually double or triple our output to actually close the gap and overtake us, kind of suck away that thematic keyword kind of momentum, back into momentum for AI search engines to steal it away from us. So you realize, screw that. It's better to simply be, the first mover on this, kind of kick out current competitors from page one, actually increase, 4 to 5 year position against future competitors as AI takes people's jobs, force them to become boudoir photographers. And so you're saying S-cube methodology is the best path for you because you want, page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, achieve boudoir search visibility, because you need that on your way to become #1 boudoir photographer in your city. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when I open up for new patient intake. My DMs are closed right now. Slots are currently closed. And when you do open up, or when I do open it up, shoot me a DM and we will see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.